Ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is trusted by more major league and college teams than any other hitting solution. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. All right, everybody, it is 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. We do this show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on X Spaces. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Hey, we got a big-time show tonight. Really got a great prospect on. Really absolutely looking forward to this. We got Mason Howard. He is 24, uncommitted. He's out of the state of Kentucky. Hey, Mason, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you so much for joining, man. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So happy to have you. Hey, man, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Kind of let us know GPA, high school, travel team over the summer. And, man, how'd you get into playing baseball?
I'm a 2024, like you said, out of Walton Verona High School, uncommitted. I have a 3.8 GPA, and I play for the Rawlings Tigers NKY for my summer team. And I got playing with baseball. My dad, growing up, just always pushed sports on me, and that's all I did as a kid growing up. And it just stuck. And he played baseball in college, so it kind of just like ran down to me.
I love that, man. It just stuck. He was all about playing sports, man, and it just stuck. So tell me, where did he play college baseball?
He played at the it was when he went there. It's called Cumberland's College, down south in Kentucky, but now it's called the University of Cumberland.
I know it. Hey, man, that's outstanding. That's really exciting stuff right there. And congratulations on that awesome GPA, brother, 3.8.
Thank you.
Man, nothing wrong with that. And I got to tell you, Rawlings Tigers, that's a big-time program. Did you guys have a good summer?
We had a pretty good summer. We started off slow, but then we picked it up towards the end and put together really good tournament runs in our last two tournaments, which was some of our two biggest ones.
I bet. Yeah, that's a big-time program right there. Congratulations. So let me ask you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Let me ask you, Mason. What position do you play? And really, what are your strengths? And maybe kind of something that you think you may need to work on.
So I'm a right-handed pitcher. Majority of games I start, and I don't mind closing, but just starting, I feel like I can go deep into games. I'm efficient. I'm good at my location of at least two pitches. Right now, one of my weaknesses I would say is my third pitch, which was my curveball. My fastball and changeup are my 1-2. And I'm still working on that third pitch.
Love it. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so give us some measurements, man. What's your height and weight?
So I'm 5'10" and 140.
Okay. All right, and I love that so fastball changeup is your 1-2. Well, so what's your velo on your fastball?
Low to mid-80s.
Okay. Outstanding. How about changeup?
Working on that to get it higher.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, that's a great point. What are you doing to really kind of improve that?
Just long tossing 3-4 times a week, and just getting in the weight room, trying to eat as much as I can, and just trying to work on mobility and exercises and stuff for that.
Yeah, good stuff right there. No question about it, man. Hey, everybody that's joining tonight, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate it. If you got in late, don't worry about it. We record this space, so we're going to be able to retweet it out in its entirety later. You'll be able to hear the whole thing. So this evening we're talking with 24 uncommitted Mason Howard. He's out of Kentucky. He is a right-handed pitcher. So let me ask you something here. I'm thinking about your dad. Your dad's played college baseball. You played a lot of sports when you were growing up. He probably introduced you to everything. So you've been playing a lot of sports and a ton of baseball your whole life. So what is it that you're really doing to kind of keep pushing yourself, just to stay motivated to get better all the time?
So my dad's he was always a smaller guy, and when he got his license, he was around 5'5" and weighed 100 pounds. And he's always just been a smaller guy and always said to have that chip on his shoulder. And he's just passed that down to me and tried to get that through me and me to get that concept and just to keep working and pushing myself to get better each time, because it's not going to come easy for us little guys.
Man, I tell you, that's some great advice right there. I love it, man. So when he got his license, he was 5'5", 100 pounds. And I got to have a feeling in Kentucky, he was probably walking both directions uphill in the snow. If he's telling you he was only 5'5", 100 pounds. Hey, that's good stuff right there. And Mason, you're not a little guy, man. You're 5'10", and you're already throwing mid-80s, brother. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a young kid, and you're just going to continue to get bigger and stronger and continue to develop, man. You're doing fantastic. I love that you got a chip on your shoulder. I don't want to take that piece off. I think that's great motivation. But I got to tell you, man, you're doing awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hoping to get bigger because my dad is around 6'3" now, so.
What? You got to be kidding me. Wait a minute. He went from being a 16-year-old at 5'5", 100 pounds is what he's telling you, to now 6'3"?
Yes.
All right.
He said he didn't finish growing until his junior year in college.
Man, I got to tell you, I'm glad you said that on this podcast. We got a ton of college coaches that listen to it. Everybody needs to hear that right now. Mason Howard, he's already 5'10". He's a rising senior. He's a 24. His dad's 6'3" and didn't quit growing until he was a junior. You got a big-time future ahead of you, man.
Hopefully.
Hey, that's good stuff right there. So let me ask you, again, kind of thinking back over all the playing time that you've done, I got to believe you've had some really big-time achievements on the field and probably some really particular memorable moments. I mean, if you could kind of narrow that down to one thing in particular, what was it and what did you really learn from it?
Okay, so my freshman year of high school baseball, we were having our district tournament at the end of the year. I saw the mound, got my first varsity start probably about 2/3 the way through the year, and had a couple relief appearances here and there. But in our district championship, it was us against our rival, and they had won it for like 15 to 20 straight years. And I got put in the bottom of the 7th inning with the bases loaded in a 2-0 count. And I ended up, I got put into that situation, and then I ended up throwing 3 straight strikes and striking the hitter out. And then it was a tie game too. So we went into extras, and then in extras, I threw an inning and got out of it with no runs. And our offense came in and did the job, and we won it.
Man, congratulations. What an unbelievable moment. My gosh. So you're a ninth grader. So you got to start a little bit of varsity play halfway through the year, but the coach calls on you, bases loaded, 7th inning, 2-0 count. What happened? Did the coach just see enough and it was like, I got to get this kid off the mound and bring somebody else in? Did he get hurt? I mean, how did you end up coming in on a 2-0 count?
Well, so we had used a lot of pitchers that tournament because we were playing a really good team, and he just knew that I would throw strikes, so he put me in. I was usually I like feeling pressure, but man, that was just like a different type of pressure, and it just taught me that I just had to stay true to myself and believe and trust my stuff was good enough and just get the job done.
Mason, what a big time moment, man. Congratulations. There's nothing to do but build
Thank
off
you.
that. Absolutely. To have the confidence of the coach, to go in again, just as a ninth grader and to see that through, man, I know you were on top of the world. I got to imagine your dad was probably pretty happy that night as well.
Yes, he was.
That is some cool stuff, man. I love that story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Absolutely appreciate that.
No problem.
Hey, let me ask you now, one of the first things when you were introducing yourself, you mentioned you got a GPA 3.8. That's fantastic. I mean, that's just outstanding. So how have you really been able to kind of balance your academic time with your athletic time? Because I got to imagine you're spending a lot of time on the field, but you're still doing so well in the classroom. What is it that you're doing to really be successful on both ends?
During the school day, we have like a specific time where we can go to a certain class and just do homework. That's about 30 minutes a day. So I try as hard as I can to get it done in there so that I have time after school to get to all the baseball stuff, like you said.
That's great time management right there. And that's going to pay off for you in the long run. I mean, I know you know this, but really when you roll into the next level, if you're just a student going to college full time, guess what? That's a full time job in and of itself. And then if you're an athlete, you've essentially had two full time jobs. And I mean, and I know your dad's going to be really able to share his wisdom, his experiences with you, and that'll be critical. I mean, and you being wise with your time and taking care of the things that you need to take care of immediately and not putting them off, it's going to do nothing but pay benefits for you. And so, hey, man, hey, Mason, man, you're really doing extremely well, man. There's no question about it. You're taking care of the things that you should be taking care of. Hey, again, thank you to everyone who's joining. We absolutely appreciate it. And thank you for those that are listening to the podcast as well. And if you're an uncommitted and this is an environment that you would like to hop on and really just be heard, we have got a ton of coaches that are listening to Now D1 Speaks. They subscribe to it and they listen to the podcast at their own leisure, and it gives them an opportunity to really find out what the makeup is of potential recruits. And makeup is so important. It really gives a coach an opportunity to listen to someone just like Mason and kind of walk through some of his experiences in life. What kind of GPA do I have? How do I take care of my academics? What is it that I'm doing to get better on the field? How do I treat my teammates? How do I treat my parents? Who all is involved in my life? These are the types of things that are just a little bit of extra that coaches are absolutely interested in. So I say all that. If you're uncommitted and you have an interest in hopping on a show with me, please reach out to me. I'm on Twitter. I'm at now_D1. I'm sure we could schedule something. I'll give you a heads up. September is totally full, which is a great thing. But we're starting to book for October. So you'll have plenty of time to kind of get prepared and be ready for the show. Tonight we're talking with Mason Howard. He's a 24 uncommitted. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he is really on a fast track. I got to tell you, he comes from a baseball family. He's got baseball blood in him, and he's had a lot of success early, and he's just continuing to grow. Let me ask you, Mason, especially with high school baseball being right here, how is it that you really kind of prepare yourself mentally for a game? I mean, do you have any rituals that you like to go through, or do you have specific routines that you really like to get yourself mentally right before you step onto the field to play?
So usually on days I pitch, I don't like to talk to many people or have many interactions with people. So I try to rest up usually all day, unless I have school, obviously, and then I kind of have to. But I try to rest up all day as much as I can, and then when it's time to go to the game, I get there, do a quick little jog, like a couple pulls, usually just depending on how I feel and if it's cold or hot outside. And then I will start doing stretches, dynamic and static stretches. Most of the times, those will be on the same timeline, but the stretches will change just depending on how I feel. And then I always do bands after that. And then I start throwing about 30 minutes before the game. I throw a football first. Then I start getting into baseball and then getting into a long toss. And then usually when that's over, I'll have about 5-minute break. And then I'll throw a bullpen. And then after that, I'll have like a 5-minute break. Usually is like how I like to put it before my first inning of work.
Wow, man. I got to tell you, that's a very professional approach. I mean, you have really got that routine down. And I have to believe that there's a certain comfort level in going through that. And once you finish that routine, you probably feel pretty invincible.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, I couldn't help but think as you were kind of talking about all this, what position did your dad play in college? Was he a pitcher?
He was Yes, sir.
I love it. I gotta believe he's really imparted a lot of his wisdom and experiences on you, and have kind of helped guide you as well. No
Absolutely.
question, man. That is so cool. I love that relationship. So let me ask you, I know there's got to be some particular players or coaches that have really been influential in your development. Can you tell us about them? Maybe talk about it a little bit?
So as I've said, my dad, he's coached me a lot and just really started out the pitching with me and developed my pitches. He taught me how to throw a changeup, and that was a couple years after I first started pitching, and that kind of just stuck to the day. And then my curveball, he taught me that probably about when I was 14, 15 maybe, and he always said my change was better than his, but his curveball is better than mine. So I got to get that part down. And then another coach that's helped me along the way is my high school coach, Clint Coleman. He was a roommate with my dad in college. They played baseball together, and he's just been a tremendous help and tremendous family friend and a good person to look up to. And then my summer coach, Ed Drohan, uh, he's just been a great help in putting the right guys together and right pieces for everyone to be successful around them.
Hey, man, what a great answer all the way around. I love everything that you said. And I just want to compliment you again on your maturity to be able to really reflect on mentors and trainers and people that have been influential in your life and recognizing what all that they're doing and to just really take a moment and to thank them. Man, that's big time stuff right there. And I love the competition with your dad. I'm thinking also, hey, you already mentioned your number one's fastball, your number two's changeup. No doubt you got a great changeup. He may have taught you, but guess what? You're working on the curve. And that's something that you had already kind of talked about. I mean, it just fits right in. And the relationship with your high school coach and your dad, I mean, that's big, man. That's really cool stuff right there. And I have to ask you, all right, so go back a couple of years, your ninth grade year, you guys win district, you're thrown into a big spot. Now you're about to roll into your senior year. What's the expectation for your high school team? What's Coach Coleman thinking as you guys get ready for the spring this year?
Well, actually, we're getting a new coach this year. They're still on the look for that. He stepped down so he could spend more time with his younger son, and but we lost a lot of seniors last year. But all of our younger guys and our seniors now, we're looking to just keep it going and keep our winning streak alive and trying to do what we couldn't last year.
Oh, wow. I got to tell you, I was not expecting you to say that. Hey, I give Coach Coleman, a lot of credit. I mean, putting family first, so forth. I get all that. A lot of pressure on the few seniors that are there, with a new coaching staff. You guys got a legacy of winning. You're going to be a very, very young team. Hey, man, you're really going to have to step up into a leadership role, it sounds like.
Yes, sir. We have about 5 or 6 seniors looking to keep that going.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of pressure right there. I think that's good stuff, though, man. That'll help you continue to grow and to develop in your own journey as to where it is that you want to go. So this will be a fantastic experience for you, no
Absolutely.
question. And so, kind of thinking about that in your journey and your development, talk to us about your goals. As it relates to baseball primarily. I mean, really, where is it that you want to see yourself over the next, year or two, and then a little bit longer term goals, man? What is it that you're really trying to achieve?
Okay, so I want to be the best pitcher around in the area, and there last year I received the uh player eighth region player regular season for pitching, and this year I want to do more with that and just be known as the best guy around, best stuff, and more velo to come. And I hope to sit mid upper 80s, and then after that I'd like to attend college and be in a great program and winning and just keep developing.
Oh, man, those are all great answers. And congratulations on being recognized last year as a junior. And I love that goal just to put it out. Hey, man, I just want to be the best. I want to be known as the best pitcher. I give you a lot of credit for that, just to put it out there and start working toward that. You obviously have great stuff. And, man, I got to tell you, the velo is absolutely coming. I mean, everybody gets excited. Everybody wants to always talk about how fast somebody's throwing, but you're already bringing it. There is no question. You're talking about getting, hey, your goal by the time spring comes, midway through the season, you want to be upper 80s. That's absolutely bringing it. And I got to believe you must have a lot of movement on the ball. You know how to pitch already. You're mixing in that change. Obviously, you're effective. You were recognized very well last year. You got a great future ahead of you, Mason. You're doing a fantastic job, man.
Thank
No
you.
question. So, talk to us about your recruiting process a little bit. I mean, everything's kind of changed. Some of the contact rules got everybody excited, as to when someone can be contacted, when they can't be contacted. Everybody's path's a little bit different. Everybody has different types of help. But just kind of talk to us, where are you right now in that process? And just how are you feeling about it overall?
Okay, so I'm uncommitted, as we said, and I've been talking to a couple colleges and have one offer from Ohio Northern right now, and hope to get more coming. But I'd like to. I think I'm going to take about 3 more visits, and then hopefully decide after that, and just pick the college that wants me and can develop me, and who has a good winning program.
Man, congratulations. You already have an offer. What an accomplishment in and of itself, right there, to know that a school has approached you after your junior year or whenever they approached you and just said, hey, you've got what it takes to really represent our program. What an absolute compliment, man. That had to put you on top of the world. And I can only imagine how proud your family must be feeling about that. That's huge, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is really, really exciting stuff. And enjoy those visits, man. I got to tell you, it sounds like you're kind of dialed in. And when you have an opportunity to get on campus, you're really thinking about more than just base. And that's the important thing. I mean, it sounds so cliche when people say, "Oh, you're not making a 40-year decision; you're making a 40-year decision." I got to tell you, it's the truth. And as I get older, and you kind of look back over your life, it's absolutely the truth. And it's important to look at what a school has to offer and truly think to yourself, if I wasn't playing baseball, if I wasn't playing a sport, would I really want to go here? Do I fit in? Do they offer what it is that I'm looking for? And if they are checking off those boxes that I fit, they've got the major, they've got the cultural environment that I enjoy, it's the size of the campus that I enjoy, it's the distance from my home that I enjoy. If they're checking all those boxes off, man, that's going to be the place for you. And then baseball is just going to naturally fit in.
The Ohio Northern, they've really pushed that thing you just said about make sure the school fits for you more than the baseball, and then they pushed me to go look at every other places just to make sure it's the right place for me.
That the coach was literally telling you, hey, go check out everywhere. You want to be 100% confident. I love that. And I'm thinking as a dad, if I was looking at my own son, I would eat that up because I would realize that he is truly looking out for the best interest of you. And that's
Absolutely.
exactly right, man. I mean, that's big time stuff. Just a congratulations. You have really surrounded yourself with people that care about you and want to see you succeed. And that's what it takes. Hey, you can't be successful necessarily on your own. It takes a support group, and you absolutely have that. Um, yeah, this
Definitely.
has been an awesome night, Mason. I have really enjoyed talking with you and just getting to know you and just listen to the projection that you're on. And I tell you, it is just going straight up. Really, really happy for you. So let me ask you something here as we kind of wrap it up. Man, if you could look at a younger generation, and think about, especially with your high school team. I think you were saying you got a lot of young guys coming on. You've only got like 5 or 6 seniors. You experienced a lot of success as a ninth grader. Think about a couple of guys. If you had the opportunity to talk to a couple of guys that maybe they start the season on the JV team, But you know what? Midway through the season, they may have an opportunity to really contribute. And then who knows what may happen by the end of the season. What kind of advice would you give those guys that really just want to be successful at baseball and be able to play for as long as they can?
I would just tell them to keep pushing every day. The guys that are around them at that young age, they might be better than them, and they just might quit working, but just to keep working, because everyone's always going to be on your tail trying to make everyone better, and just to always have that chip on your shoulder.
I love that chip on the shoulder, man. That's great advice right there, and it sounds like that's what you've been living your whole life as well. And you got great experience at it, and you were just saying, "Hey, it's worked for me, and here's an opportunity for you." I think that's fantastic, man. I do want to let everybody know tomorrow night, we've really got a special night. We don't have a baseball player on. We've got a man, his name is Joseph Malone. He is the CEO of Southern Cross Safety Academy. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is Southern Cross Safety Academy? And what does it have to do with baseball? And what does it have to do with college? And I got to tell you, you're going to want to tune in. I mean, this guy, he's got a lot of insight as to kind of how to help young athletes develop in their life, to become more mature, to become someone that's grounded, someone that really kind of strives to be in a leadership role. And he has got a lot of advice. And I tell you, I think it's going to be interesting. It's a little bit something different than we normally do. But I would suggest that you dial in. If you want to hear it live, call in tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Now D1 Speaks. And if you want to hear the podcast, it'll be out there, from Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and on and on and on. That would be available. Gosh, I guess it would be Friday. It'll be Friday afternoon or so. So, Mason, again, I have had an absolute blast getting to know you and talk to you. I am really looking forward to your progress. I can't wait to see where it is that you end up committing. And I know that you're just absolutely going to be successful. And just thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit of your experiences. And, man, I hope you've had a good time tonight.
Thank you. It was definitely a great time talking to
Hey,
you.
that's fantastic. Why don't we end it right there? I think that'd be a great way to end it. So everybody that joined, thank you so much, and good night. Hey, let me ask you something. Are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the #1 hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 and you will save $25 at checkout. Unlock your potential with Blast.